What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Frank, and today is a very special video because we're reviewing the 2023 Toyota 4Runner SR5, 5th generation, but it's my new personal daily driver. So as you guys know, I had the 2021 Chevy Colorado ZR2. I've now gotten rid of that one. And now we have this big old thing to make a bunch of new fun content for you guys out there with, and I'm really looking forward to it. So let's go ahead and let's get into this review on this awesome truck. So just before we go into the extra review, why I picked the 2023 SR5 as compared to like a TRD Off-Road or a TRD Pro or a Premium or anything like that. Well, in all honesty, I didn't really care about the extra struts that the TRD Pro came with. I plan on building this one into a TRD form. I'm gonna end up installing aftermarket suspension and wheels and everything like that as time goes on. And this one in particular was a 2023 with only 500 miles on it with the premium package. So I had the leather seats, sunroof and everything like that, along with a couple of other goodies in there, which we'll go over shortly. So yeah, it was just a leftover model year, came back pre-owned with only 500 miles, and it was about $10,000 under MSRP. So not really much complaining on that end. I really have no issues with picking this one up and again just modifying it and turning it into what I really want. I like the gray color that it has as well. So honestly, it hits all of the check marks and the boxes that I was looking for. And now just before we go into the extra review, I want to touch on, well, first the price. So the price base MSRP on a brand new SR5 is going to be about $51,000, but this one right here I actually got for $42,000, again with only 500 miles on it. So a steal of a deal, if you will. And honestly, that's why I couldn't resist getting this truck, because it's just too good to pass up. And with such a good, strong value that these trucks do hold, I really couldn't let it up. Now, starting off the review, obviously we're going to go underneath the hood of the 2023 SR5. So across the board, all the 4Runners have the same exact engine, and that's honestly why I picked this particular car, the 4Runner being in that case, is because of the reliability factor of it. This is something I plan on keeping for an extremely long time. And I know it's not the most powerful thing in the world, but in this case, again, like I said, I was going for reliability over everything and capability. So some key specs to note on this one. This is obviously the 4-liter V6. Our miles per gallon gave me 16 on the city, 19 on the highway. So not great on that end, but again, who cares? And it has 270 horsepower with 278 pound-feet of torque. Again, not crazy overpowered, but again, it's some stuff we can work on. And I did hear about that TRD supercharger, so that may be something cool for the future. And towing capacity is going to be about 5,000 pounds. So pretty decent on that end as well. Also made it to a 5-speed automatic transmission. And again, it's known for reliability. So that's again my key reason for really picking up this truck in the long run. Again, as long as it is also maintained properly. So let's go ahead, let's close up this hood and let's go into some of the exterior features. Now let's go into the exterior review. So I picked this truck up a few days ago. I washed it yesterday and I have ceramic coating coming in today. So I'm going to try, if I have enough time, to ceramic coat it today as well and let that cure over the next 24 hours. First things to note on here is that, well, it looks the same exact as any other 4Runner from 2014 up to 2024. I know that's not the biggest thing with Toyota. They really did very minimal on that end. But again, if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of a mentality. So going off on the paint, which I did like on this, was the silver metallic paint on here. You can see it is very metallic and very sparkly. It looks really nice in the sun. I was actually between this one and a red TRD Off-Road as well. And again, with the extra price difference, that one also had low mileage, but with the extra price difference, I didn't really think that it was too necessary. I know that that one has crawl mode and a couple other things like rear locking differential and everything like that, which this one doesn't. But I'm not doing any crazy off-roading where I think that would be necessary. I think the 4 high and 4 low is just enough for what I need to do. And again, with a couple of good all-terrain tires and stuff like that on here, I think it'll be plenty enough. So overall exterior styling on the 4Runner for the 2023 SR5 is, well, the same as pretty much any other 4Runner out there. We do have LED headlights and fog lights that go on at nighttime. They're not automatic. You have to manually turn it on. You have daytime running lights in here as well. I am planning on customizing and changing these ones out as well. The front grille is pretty bland. We do have a front radar control right there. For cruise control, I did already order, though, the new TRD Pro front grille, so we are going to be getting rid of this one in the next video. I'm sure about that. It should be in about a few days. Going onto the lower end as well, you can see there is a very skinny, small skid plate down there. Again, I'm thinking about possibly putting on the TRD Pro skid plate on there as well. And as you can see as well on that front end, there's an overall ground clearance number 9.6 inches on this one. The approach angle on the front end is going to be 33 degrees, and on the rear end, your angle of departure is going to be about 26 degrees. And this truck is also pretty heavy. It's about 4,700 pounds, so definitely not a light truck that's going to be floating around anywhere. So overall, though, the exterior styling on this, I like it. I like the way that everything looks on here. The wheels on here I think are a bit bland, but again, I'm planning on putting on the TRD Pro wheels or something similar. I really like the look of them on here too. So we're gonna be talking about that too. If you guys have any kinds of ideas for modifications, or if you have 4Runners or anything like that, please let them in the comments below. This way I can go ahead and go look at them. I have a lot of new plans that I'm trying to think of for this one, but I could definitely use your guys' help because I'm not a Toyota guy, so I don't really know exactly what I'm doing just yet, but we are going to figure it out and build this into something really awesome. Going down to the wheels, this one comes with the Dunlop AT20s. These are 17-inch wheels on here too, and they are really big. They're 265 by 70s, again with these 17-inch wheels. I'm not a crazy big fan, like I said, of them. It's the SR5 model. It's kind of the base wheel that it comes with, and I look forward to changing them out. I think that's going to be the next major thing that would change the overall look of this truck. But I mean, they're not the worst thing in the world, but they're also not the best. They also do collect a ton of brake dust, and I'm sure that has to do with the brake pads on here too, because these brakes were already filthy, and I've only driven it about 150 miles since I gotten it. So, I mean, it is what it is. Overall though, inside here too, in the wheel liner, I do like how it is plastic. The Colorado had actual fabric material in there, so it really latched onto dirt as I went off-roading and stuff like that, so it was a nightmare to power wash out. I do have the side step on here as well, and again, I'm most likely going to end up changing these out at some point to something a little different, but we'll see about that. For now, they will stay. I like the look of them, and I don't think they look terrible. The rear end is going to have your same wheels on here, those Dunlop AT20s with the 17-inch wheels. Again, nothing too crazy with that. Overall badging on here too is going to have chrome all throughout it. The SR5 on here, the Toyota logo on the front, and on the rear end, your 4Runner and Toyota emblem are also chrome as well. Again, I actually did already order a blackout kit for that because I just think that the black will look a lot better than chrome with this paint, and we're also going to get the windows tinted as well. Overall though, again, moving on to the rear end now, you can see the rear end styling is the same exact thing as a 5th gen Toyota 4Runner. I know that after 2024, I'm sure the 25s are going to be completely different. And that's also why I wanted to grab this one while I still could, because I honestly think that when the new 25s come out, if they are redesigned, I'm assuming they're probably going to have a turbo engine in it like the Tacomas have. So I'm really not sure how the reliability factor is going to be on them. I know that these things are pretty damn bulletproof if you maintain them properly, which I plan on doing and making a ton of content about as well. And I know if they can last 150, 250, 300,000 miles with ease. The taillights on here look not terrible, but again, I did see some really nice ones online for aftermarket ones. So I was probably going to look into those too. You do have the very, very nice rear window on here, which does roll down, which is one of my favorite things about Toyotas, and I love that. And that is, again, another main thing that I liked about getting this truck. Overall though, there's not really much to talk about on the exterior features because it is a relatively bland looking SUV right now. It's not the TRD Pro, it doesn't have any cool stuff on it just yet, but again, I did it on purpose because I wanted to build it how I like it. So without further ado though, let's jump inside of the interior and go over some of that in there, because this is the SR5 Premium, so we have the leather, and I do actually have another cool little feature in the back end here, which was an added option from the factory. All right, everyone, we're now inside of the 4Runner. It still smells like a new car in here, which I really like. Again, it had 500 miles on it, so it's technically not a new car, but in my eyes, that basically is. Another reason why I picked the 4Runner was the overall drive quality on here. It is an extremely comfortable ride. My Colorado had the DSSV dampers on it. They were great for the fact that you can go off-road and on-road, and it was relatively comfortable, but it wasn't the most comfortable thing in the world. Again, that truck was tailored towards more off-roading than being on the street. So when you're on the street, it was very rough around the edges. Not the roughest thing in the world, but it definitely could have used a little bit more comfort on there. But I'm not knocking it. This one though is an SUV. It's a different platform. It's a different everything. So I really like the ride quality and the overall comfort of it. It's extremely easy to drive and comfortable to drive as well. So again, this is the SR5 Premium. So what do I get with that? I get leather seats, heated steering wheel, and a sunroof. That's honestly it. That's all that you get with the SR5 Premium for the most part. Everything in here is pretty standard compared to a normal 4Runner. You would get the SR5 base or not. This one does also have the optioned out the rapid charger smart USB, so I have 2 extra USB ports in here too. Just again, another little added option that was put in here. I think it was like $275 when I was looking at it on the thing. Other than that, the interior here is very, very bland and very simple. They barely changed anything from 2014 up to now. The only things that they've really changed at all has just been the infotainment screen, which isn't even that crazy because it's still small and it looks dated compared to other newer cars coming out now. They did a pretty good job though with the interior. Again, it's that mentality of if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of thing. So I'm happy with it. I don't need anything crazy. I like the way everything is. The screen is very responsive, and it does have some creature comforts like heated steering wheel and heated seats. It has blind spot monitoring, radar, cruise control, lane departure warning, and all of that other stuff. So it has some good tech in it, but just not the best of the best. But at the same time, I don't need that, and that's just more stuff to go wrong. I'm happy with my little sunroof. I'm happy with heated seats and heated steering wheel, and the gauges on here too are a little bit of a split. You have your screen in the center, and then you have analog gauges for your RPMs, your oil temperature, your fuel, and your speed. Those are all still gauges, at least. Overall seating in here, again, the seats are extremely comfortable. They are leather. They are full power seats on the driver and the passengers as well, which is a nice little touch. They have this two-tone design on them with this leather. They have like a gray, black two-tone going on with white stitching running throughout. Again, nothing crazy and nothing too fancy. The only things that I've gotten so far for this to help improve my quality inside of here has been a glove box organizer in here, which was like a few dollars on Amazon. And I got one for the center armrest in here, this little tray which sits up here so I can store more stuff instead of it just going all the way down. Again, those are two things that I had on my Colorado, not the glove box organizer actually, so I just had this on there, and the Colorado had a pretty good size glove box, so I didn't have to really worry about storage in there anyway. So going over some stuff on here, your window controls are all up here. They're not lower down here like most other cars are. It gets a little bit getting used to. That's one thing that I am still getting used to. Steering wheel is fully leather wrapped. Again, it is heated with a bunch of controls on here for your infotainment screen, your radar, cruise control, your lane departure. All that stuff is controlled on your steering wheel. A few buttons on the left are obviously your mirror controls, your auto high beams for when it is dark outside. You do have a heated front windshield for when it is snowing and ice outside for your windshield wipers, so that they don't get iced onto or stuck to the glass and rip them up and destroy them. Overall though, very similar layout to pretty much any other 4Runner that's been out there. The only difference, like I said, has been just the screen, which was newer and introduced in about 2021 to the 2024. This compared to a 2024 is the same exact as well. This one also does feature an remote push button start, which is very nice. It does not have remote start. I am going to have to get that installed after as well. And it does have keyless entry and exit, which is all pretty standard for the newer age cars. So overall though, I'm very happy with the way that this all is. I'm very happy with the way the layout is. You do have now for your off-road mode, you have a dial right down here. This is the dial that is going to control your standard high 4 and low 4 drive modes. And again, instead of the TRD Pro, which you actually have the manual transfer case, this one in here is just this single dial, which you're able to turn around and everything like that. But the SR5 does come with the A-Track mode, and you have your DAC mode. So while this one does not have a rear locking differential, it does have the A-Track mode, which is the automatic traction control mode. So pretty much it will detect if one wheel is losing traction. It will instead put a brake on that wheel and send power towards another wheel, which it knows has traction, to help you get out of stuck situations. And again, next to that, you do have the DAC button, which is just going to help you descend down very, very steep terrain. It will help you with the brakes and prevent you from locking up your brakes as well. So a very nice little thing to have in here, only if you are going down very steep terrain. Other than that, there's really no other major features in here besides, again, like the sunroof. Let's go ahead though and let's jump into the rear seats, where we're going to actually showcase some other cool things that this 4Runner has to offer. All right, guys, so hopping into the rear end seats back here, you can see there is a ton of room. There's not much back here for rear seat passengers. You have the brand new iPhone type of USB-C cables in here as well for your charging ports, and that's it. You just get two of them, and two vents back here for your rear climate control. You do have cup holders in the doors, and that's really it. It's very basic back here for rear passengers. In here you do have your center cup holder, and as you can see, this cup holder signifies something that this truck also has offered, which I thought was a pretty cool little thing, because I've never actually had one. And that is, if we hop outside and come right here, if I pull that back, this truck actually has a third row seat optioned in it, which is a really cool little thing. So I've never had a truck with a third row seat, and it's nice to have it because now I can bring even more people with me if I'm gonna say go to the beach or something like that. Moving on to the other side too, I just want to touch on one other thing. Now coming over to this side too, I just want you to note, you do have a little lever right here, but instead of actually that one where you hilt the lever and it pulls the seat up to get into the back seats, you can actually recline the seat back. And just like that, as you could see, to go backwards. So you can actually recline the rear seats a little bit more if your rear passengers want to have a little bit more room or be a little bit more comfortable. So pretty cool little thing that they have on there. Now let's go into the rear end trunk space. So overall, rear end trunk space is very abundant. It has the WeatherTech mats across the board on here and there. I am going to get different mats though, because I did see that these mats are kind of not the greatest ones. These are the ones that just came with it, but they do the job for now. You do, as you can see here, have a 120 volt 400 watt charger right in here. Perfect when you're on the beach. You do have another charger right in here. Inside here is actually where your bottle jack is going to be. If you just pop those out, and then inside there is going to be your bottle jack. It does have the cargo net on here, which I did put on. The lower ones I couldn't put on for right now because they're covered. So I just kind of left them like that for now. And overall though, there's a ton of space back here. You can see that for the third row passengers, you do have 2 cup holders back here too for them, which is a nice little touch. And they do have their own little window. Obviously that does not roll down or anything like that. This one also does come with, over here, the little Toyota first aid kit, which is a cool little thing to have. All right guys, and that's going to wrap up this review on my 2023 Toyota 4Runner SR5. Honestly, I'm really happy with the purchase. Let me know in the comments below, guys, if you think what other mods I should do to this thing. I'm really excited to start working on it and really start working and building something too on the channel, because I don't just want to do car reviews. While I love doing car reviews and it's a ton of fun, I do want to also have fun building something and learning a new skill, like becoming a mechanic and stuff like that, because I do enjoy working on my cars. I do a lot of other stuff for like my fiance's car and everything like that, which I don't film, but on this, I think it'd be a little bit better for the channel because it'll appeal to a little bit more people. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to wrap up this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you know when I post next. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys in the next very fun video. Take care.